Alright, YouTube, Occult Literature video number 61 on the Philadelphian Gold, a very good alchemical work delivered in the form of a dialogue, which is a little bit different than most alchemical works. Most of them are, you do one, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, now the dragon devours the lion, or something like that. Link in the description to where you can purchase my edition of this work on Amazon. Second link to my books blog if you're into alchemy. Dozens of other texts available. There are also many grimoires. There are pieces of folk magic, herbals, basically anything spiritual works. It's all there, and more coming all the time. On the Philadelphian Gold is in the form of a dialogue between Philocrisis and Philadelphus. The former being a materialist, the latter being a more eclectic character who convinces Philocrisis that he's asleep, and then proceeds to go through this dialogue, trying to prove to him that the gold that he holds valuable, that is literal materialistic gold, as an elemental gold, is actually just a shadowy, corrupt version of a spiritual gold, which should be sought really in its place. Now, the work does cut off at a point, which is rather strange. It almost looks like it's supposed to be continued in a second tract. I have a feeling that it was left off for a reason. But it goes through essentially what is a logical philosophical argument on the subject. It's not so much hands-on or even theory so much as it is simply a logical exercise in attempting to prove that the gold of the philosophers, this was released by the Philadelphian Society hundreds of years ago, is not the gold that is sometimes spoken of now. Many alchemical authors and minds agree with this basic concept, because when it is spoken of creating gold within alchemical works, most often, unless it's a work on counterfeiting metals, or literally making fake gold or silver, when they're talking about creating gold, they're talking about creating the universal medicine, the elixir, or something else of value with their chemical art. They're not talking about creating elemental gold. Of course, we know that can actually take place. The elixirs and ixirs and alkahest and oils and tinctures and so forth that they were creating, with the exception of several tracts related to creating colloidal gold, like the Aurum Potabile, which I still have to redo and re-upload at some time. With the exception of colloidal gold, most often they're talking about gold in a metaphorical sense, that is something valuable. And so what Philadelphus has done here is attempt to show him, no, for instance, this argument is used. Well, if you look at a lean, starving horse, and then you look at a really fat, sassy, healthy horse, would you say that the lean horse is the true horse and that the fat, sassy, healthy horse is just the shadowy representation of an actual horse? And of course, Philocrisis as well. No, that wouldn't make sense. He says, aha, well, this gold is so much better than the fallen materialistic gold. Your materialistic gold is that lean horse. In truth, it's the opposite. That is the shadowy reflection of the real gold. And what appears to be alluded to here is that the gold of heaven, they're talking about literally the gold building like the new city of Jerusalem post-Revelation times or something like that, the city of Philadelphia or whatever, sort of this mythical location. They're talking about it's gold like glass, it's transparent, it's better than what you currently have a hold of. And of course, Philocrisis repeatedly admonishes him, oh, don't stop talking to me about this. I don't want to be convinced that my gold is worthless or something. It's basically a spiritual metaphor. Very interesting read. It's 38 pages in length, so it's pretty standard for an alchemical work. And one of the more interesting, one of the more readable and accessible ones. It's not going to teach you how to make elixir or something like that. But if you're interested in alchemical manuscripts, this is going to need to be part of your collection, I think, regardless of what edition it is. Of course, mine's the cheapest as always. So again, if you want an edition of this off of Amazon, link in the description, second link to my books blog if you want to peruse other works. There are 4 links on the left-hand side for grimoires, for alchemy, for folk materials, and then for the spiritual works. Now, and to the folk materials are added certain other, like the the Sefer Bahir, the Sefer Yetzirah, some of these other works, where I haven't released enough in the subgenre to make its own section, yet at least. So a lot of material available. We're on video 61 within the Occult Literature series for a reason. That's about all. Peace out.